Alright. I've already kind of like given a few thoughts on the matchup. I think round start's like fine because Millia doesn't get rewarded on hit very much at round start. The best thing she can get on you at round start probably is like if you get hit by air to air jump P somehow. If you get hit by, and I kind of like realized that over time. If you get hit by air to air jump P at round start by Millia, you're in a terrible spot because it's like the one thing that would convert into a knockdown for her. Unless you're pressing like a crouch normal when she hits you with Forest at round start, then she'd get Digitalis counter hit. Or not counter hit, confirm off of the 5H. But otherwise, like, air to air jump P at round start is like a death sentence, and I normally try not to do it anymore. Yeah. I've gotten a lot better at this, I'd say, about like not falling for this anymore. Or like, this is just me misspacing. I like overshoot, and instead of... I could have double jumped still. Like, you can see me already jump ping. I should have double jump and like reset the situation from there. Because like once she crosses you up, well, once you cross her up in that spacing, there's nothing you can really do about the fact that they're gonna mash 4H, right? Like right here, right there, right? So as you see that whiff happening, you need to just jump away if you can, or mash backdash or something, but they're usually gonna just mash throw there, and your character doesn't land and like you don't recover fast enough off landing to do anything. That's just a good air to air. This is also like a good example of like differences in styles between Skyy and Simo. Like you can see me just like pressing things early against Skyy, like immediately jump S-ing when I jump back, or immediately doing like Tekazami after we reset, like that on the anti-air, things like that. I'm more willing, like instantly pressing jump S off the tech. I would have done that anyway, let's be real. This is what I was talking about before, where it's I've learned to just like not do this, where it's so annoying running up and then miss timing the 6K and getting thrown out of it. It's the worst feeling. She gets rewarded so much for it that I just gave up on doing that. Now in those situations, I'll just like run up and I'll like space claw or just like do Tatami. Okay, hits meaty, right? If you want it to be throw invulnerable, you can't hit it meaty because it's not throw invulnerable on active. So it has like 11 frames of startup, and it's not invulnerable on that 11th frame where it kicks in. So you actually need to like not properly meaty them if you think that they're gonna wake up with the throw. But I mean, if you time it right, like it doesn't matter if they wake up with the button, because you're supposed to time it towards the later end of the active frames, but sorry, not the active, the later ends of the startup frames are like what you're trying to meaty with, right? Not the actual like active frames. But you can mess it up. Throw him out of the roll because that shit's fake. Also, a bit of a side note, and it's like really important to pay attention to this when you fight Millia. This is true for anybody fighting Millia. But if Millia just tossed her pin like that and she starts a block string, they need to roll, right? They need to roll to pick up the pin, right? And sometimes they need to double roll. I think he picked it up off one roll maybe. But generally, if they're gonna double roll, a lot of the times it's in situations like this. Yeah, he did get it off the first one. He didn't even need to do double roll. But they have to roll there to get their pin usually. Unless they're like trying to reset a block string, but it usually lets you run away, right? Oh, I remember, this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna do this like a million times in the set. I remember, I was just, at one point I was like, dude, he doesn't punish me for ever doing season on throw. He'll hit like IB on 2H or something, and he'll just backdash. He'll like lock in backdash into like 4H mash or 2H mash. And both of them generally lose to like the 6K if I just do the throw OS. Or it's one of those things, like I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep throw resetting you. You need to throw me out of it. It's got a lot of startup. Gonna go high. Oh yeah, I remember this. I wanted to bait this anyway. Because I was supposed to do dash up TKO's onsen, and if they dead angle, you'll see it like when you do it. But I missed my dash. I get the TKO's onsen, but I missed my dash. And I was right, he did dead angle like that. But that's the reason, at least that's a reason why you want to do TKO's onsen instantly, instead of doing like run up jab TKO's onsen, right? Like you run up TKO's onsen and they dead angle if they dead angle or they burst the meaty tatami like in block, you're gonna RC before whatever they did actually comes out. But I mess up the spacing, and as soon as I see it whiff, I was like, oh shit, okay. So it gets really weird, but the initial bait was correct. I just didn't do it right. Round start JP. I should maybe do those less. I feel like over time I'm realizing that I don't really get much out of round start jump forward JP. Because even if she jumps forward, she's gonna do it with jump P, and we always clash. It's always gonna clash. But she has a 4-frame normal, right? So it's, unless I'm guessing correctly with the zombie, somehow I'm just gonna get stuffed, right? Or I need a blitzer or something. But it's not really worth potentially just getting knocked down, I'd say. Yeah, I've gotten better at doing this too. Where I'll play around air spacings where like once I'm here, the fastest way to reposition is actually just doing armor dash, running slash, right? And we'll just whiff like that. And by the time like you can do stuff, I can do stuff, see? But you'll see me do that a bit more these days against Millia's, where I'll just do that to reposition. And if he threw the pin, the armor dash helps a good bit with that situation, right? So like from right here, if he throws the pin off of that spacing instead of air dashing, I was already armor dashing, so I just I eat the pin while I'm armor dashing. And if he commits to moving forward with that jump H like that, then I just get away, right? So it's kind of like just covering a lot of bases. That was a greedy as zombie. I should have done that. Good blocks until the end. Maybe I wanted to hold up a little too soon, I think. That's probably what happened. Yeah. I learned my lesson actually after this tournament that when Skyy does 5D, if he has meter, he always spends it on disc YRC. But you can't really interact with it unless you have 25 meter. Because if you have 25 meter, then you can pick your YRC option instantly. Because you fight his slowdown with your slowdown. It's really corny, but that's just like Exerd, you know? That's just the game. Oh, he thought it took forward. That's funny. So there's just like random, we're just whiffing stuff in neutral. He catches me with JD and it's not counter hit. If it's counter hit, I believe the wall bounce is guaranteed. But he hits me regular, right? So he sees me hit, or sorry, like he sees me not wall bounce and inputs 2H, right? Because if I tech forward, the 2H would catch me teching forward. Even though I think there's a chance that that he could get caught by jump S if I do tech jump S, even if he tries catching it. And then this Skyy just kind of does this a lot, right? Like Millia's will throw this pin, but he specifically keeps going high for like a really long time. And as long as I don't mess up the timing on this Redazami, I pretty much always get the Sakura. Like I don't need to pick the uppercut follow up. I can just pick Sakura because he does the air dash from so high. And if you're wondering what the counterplay to this is, it's pretty simple. Just throw the pin and go low, because it's really hard. Like you can't really react to the startup of air dash perfectly. A lot of the times you're just assuming that they're gonna do it and you input Redazami early. That was also I need to stop doing that against lightweights. So off of this, I should have only done jump S, jump D, not this whole extra sequence. For one, it gives them a chance to tech if I do it and they actually build too much height. Like he doesn't build enough height here to tech, but it can happen. And also, it just pushes them so far that it lets him backdash out of this Oki if he feels like it. If I don't do it right. Or if I only do jump S, jump D, he's closer and the Oki is a lot easier. Oh, I didn't expect him to get caught, I remember. I didn't react to that situation at all. I just didn't expect him to get caught by that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. You love to see it. So, this is just one of those things. This time, it's a lot easier to do this if you mix in Jump K. Jump K helps a lot in block strings because it kind of like holds you there for a second, and you'll see how high you are, and you'll go, oh, I need to add an extra jump P, or you'll see how low you'll see you're low enough that you can just go straight into 2K. But I see it's like, okay, I'm still a little too high, so I have to add a few hits, and I catch him mashing 4H, right? Which I already talked about this, where I've realized that it's never worth like trying to do. You can do better block strings to have slightly better frame advantage when you land. But Skyy is so committed to like 4H mashing that I've just given up on it. I just pretty much like always aim to frame trap 4H. And then this was specifically because I counter hit him on the first hit. And like I said, he hasn't punished armor dash throw. So if he's not gonna punish armor dash throw, I'm just gonna do it. Because if you burst, I get your burst, and you're not punishing me. So I'm just gonna get this combo anyway. You know. Also, he could have bursted here. Like, this guaranteed burst point. Same with if I do... Oh, I'd try to bait it, yeah. If I do the actual knockdown, it's also a guaranteed burst point. That's unlucky. That's technically a guaranteed burst point, but he's got, like, no HP to work with. I think that's crazy. That works. So, burst. Skyy also does that a lot off burst, which is why I've started tossing Tatami out more consistently after bursts, because Tatami helps to nullify the pin. What I need to do is Tatami into 6p immediately to see if it beats something like that. I think it would. Yeah, I was most surprised that... Where is it? Where was it? Oh, that was terrible. On my part. Oh no, yeah, I was just surprised that the jump K hit me. I didn't expect that. And then he backs off, kind of like respects me. Fishing for like the JD counter hit again. I'm guessing maybe she can combo, but it's like stupidly hard on non-counter hit if it does exist. That was terrible. I should have done a super. It combos off far slash, I'm pretty sure. I've never really done it off far slash, but I'm pretty sure it combos off far slash, or even just regular Roman cancel right into a confirm. But I did armor dash throw, and I thought, like, I talked about this before, like in the same analysis with a CT set, or sometimes I'll do it in situations where I expect you to backdash, and then I'll go Zonson. But I didn't really react to the situation. I just go Zonson early. I didn't like hit confirm the backdash or anything like that. And yeah, he could have just mashed 4H. He hella could have mashed 4H. Would have beat it. Oh, great. Air to air. What did I catch him trying to do? So, like I said, I kind of gave up on trying to be aggressive at round start. Oh, I think he wanted to toss pin. I'm not sure if he would have elevated fast enough to get out of this. He might have. There's a chance that he goes high enough that the heavy pin toss would get him out of this jump S air to air, but it doesn't work out like that. Sorry, people keep opening my door. Gets air to aired, and then there's another thing. I used to like try to run up closer, like really close, to get really good block strings against Skyy, but now I just pretty much 2k as early as possible, so that if he mashes 4H, he's not gonna get it. It's like why I do it. So hold on, sorry about this. It's randomly got too quiet. So I shouldn't move this. Sorry. There you go. Still want it in the same frame. But yeah. Gets caught hella mashing 4H and bursts out. He did this a lot when we would play burst, and like I said, I would just start throwing Tatami out, because if he does air dash pin and if he does run up, both of them have to deal with Tatami, right? It's just kind of like slight biking privilege that I get to do that all the time. Yeah, I think I talked about this a little earlier, and like, or not actually, no, I didn't talk about it in this one, but in like this analysis for this tournament. But a lot of the times I think people will see me whiffing options like that and assume that I have to block, right? But I can always Azami right before you can connect your air to ground normal, and usually get rewarded for it like that. Nice. That was a really good block in this part. I remember I did this and then I realized that I fucked up, because I had already said that I didn't want to do this to Skyy anymore. Like, I didn't want to do this because the 4H mash with Millia is too scary. And that I should just do like punch air to air. Or not punch air to air, punch air dash. Punch off of air dashes is what I should do. Good air throw. What did he pick me out of? Oh, he just hard committed before I could do anything. Missed his bad moon. Yeah, that's just... That's just me guessing, right? I see the 2K and he could go low again, or he could throw me. If he fucks it up, I can throw him out of the low too. But in theory, like that's what's supposed to happen, and that's like why this shouldn't work, just like that. Yeah, see, armor dash throw. Anytime I thought I was in danger of like him doing something, I would do armor dash throw. I don't know why. I probably just did it because I was greedy there. There wasn't really like a reason to do that. Good backdash out of the thing. That's tough. I'll miss my fadeaway tatami, yeah. It's a really good tatami to do on people if they don't like know how to stop it. Because it'll give you really good oki in a situation where people don't expect you to get really good oki. Like off of this, people are usually very respectful. And if the tatami lands, then you're in a really good spot. And what they should do, it's the same thing as like what I said with like what CT should have done. Where is this? Where like they need to like run up to like right here once they see you kind of like do that jump, because once you've committed to jumping at that timing, you can't really punish them for trying to run you down. Not really. It's pretty hard as Biken. So you kind of like run her down so that if she moves forward, like you'll catch her right there, right? Like you'll catch her as she's coming down from there. But I missed the tatami anyway, so you don't really get to see like what that actually looks like or anything. But that does happen quite a bit with Biken. Like that kind of you get that knockdown a lot off of air throws. You get this situation popping up a lot off of Biken air throw. It gives that kind of knockdown in the corner. This is the combo. 6K's cheap, I can't block it. Zansen stall, yeah. I got really lucky that he actually did fall for the Zansen stall, right? So messes up to confirm because I guess he just did it a little too early or didn't expect me to get hit like that. Double jump so that I don't really have to deal with like any weird initial like, is he gonna throw me? Is he gonna like try to anti-air me as I come out of my tech? A double jump, and then I Zansen stall instantly so that he doesn't get to try to throw me on the way down, because I know I'm out of air options, right? I don't have an air dash anymore to use. So I Zansen stall, and then I come down with jump S. It looks like I probably caught him trying to jump P, I'm guessing. Or sorry, jump P, 6P, right? What was that? I don't know what that was. It's too early to tell. It might have honestly just been like far slash. He might have thought he could get close slash still. I remember this. This was purely by accident. I tried to do Zansen right here so that he would get caught out of the end lag of pin, if that's a thing. I still don't know if it would have been a thing, but I saw the situation in the slowdown and I wanted to Zansen, but he crossed me up at the last second like that. So I actually got super jump back into jump S like that, and I just was not ready for it. And I don't know what that was. I think he thought he could throw me on wake up. Maybe that's what that was. What was that? Yeah, I think he just thought he could throw me on wake up. But I always do this in case he wakes up with 4H. I'll just get that one extra little hit that I need. Kind of like cheesy, but the counterplay, by the way, is if you anticipate Biken doing this to you, and that's true for anybody, it doesn't have to be character specific. Some people have better punishes because they'll have like metered, or not metered, they have meterless reversals and stuff. Like if you have a DP or something off of this situation. Where is it? Oh my god. If Bikens do this to you, if they do the jump H that high, they're pretty much committed to doing tatami afterwards, and there's a gap there. There's always a gap there, and if they do neutral jump, like rising jump H like this to bait throws, they don't have any kind of like pushback really. So if you time it and do a blitz shield on the tatami, it causes a reject state. And they don't really have like an amazing way of dealing with it except trying to delay Zansen special cancel, like trying to Zansen instead of tatamiing. But if you wait long enough to recognize the animation of tatami, you should be able to get it and not get clipped by Zansen. But yeah, that's like what anyone can do. They can challenge the special cancel specifically off this, not necessarily like all the time. Like if she does it like retreating, like if she does rising jump H retreating and you somehow block, like you run in and you end up blocking the jump H, at tatami like that, because she'll be fading back, it won't really work if you blitz it. But if she does the neutral jump one, it will. It should, at least, I'd say. I'm like 99% positive. Back off at round start. Tech buttons. Go low. I was really surprised he just got caught in general. I just felt like doing it in case he would throw mash for any reason. Just like, I'll just go low. And then I did Tatami instantly, and he gets hit, so just get a free confirm. Oh, that was pretty bad, I think, on my part. Like, not recognizing the situation was kind of like, eh. Because he double jumps, right? So, what are his resources he has left? I should have done the Suzuran thing again. Because I know that he only has air dash left. One of them specifically. He doesn't have both, I believe. Because he already did double jump out of tech. And I don't think he gets both, right? I think he only gets one of each. He only gets a jump and an air dash, but not... Or sorry, he gets like... He doesn't get to use all three, is what I'm trying to say. He can't like... Oh no, wait. Oh no, she's always like that. I don't know what I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy. Because he teched and already jumped, I know he only has his one remaining air action, right? I know he can only air dash. So I should have done armor dash again to catch him doing anything, right? Like in case he pins on the way down like he just did, the armor dash would help protect me on the way in. Or even just doing run up 6p might be good, but run up 6p is scary because if he doesn't do anything off of the tech double jump right here, like when he techs forward, and just if he just falls with jump H and I like do run up 6p, he'll cross me up, right? So it's kind of like hyper specific, but if I wanted to try to show it, it's essentially like he can either air dash back like this and then decide whether he wants to do pin, and pin will cover like this spacing for him, or he can do just that double jump, do nothing, and then fall with jump H like that, right? And the thing is, for me, let me see, I haven't tried using other colors. Maybe it'll work if I try it now. Nice, it is. Okay, so what I would have to do is if I think he's gonna do that jump H in place, I can just stay still in 6p, like right here. The problem is if I do that 6p and he commits to the air dash back option, then I get instantly counter hit by that pin, because you're not really reacting to the situation. It's happening so fast that you're just guessing, right? And similarly, like if I do run up deep to try to get past the pin and 6p him on the way down, if he does the jump H, he'll cross me up. So I'll end up like, here, I'll clear the whiteboard. I'll end up right here, and as he falls with the jump H, he'll cross me up. I won't necessarily get punished probably, but he'll get to hit me with the back end of jump H and just get to start his turn basically. So I guess that's probably less punishing than getting counter hit for sure by air dash back into pin. But the thing is, if I armor dash, it kind of deals with like all those options. Like if he does the jump H, he's gonna hit me from behind, and I'll just do running slash away from him before he can do anything. And if he commits to the pin, he has to throw his pin away, right? And I can try to catch him when he lands. Bait the 4H. I missed the confirm. I think that combos. I'm not 100%. Yeah, that was really bad. Sometimes I do this if I really think like, okay, he wants a Digitalis, especially because I IB'd. So I was like, okay, maybe he'll do Digitalis because he sees all the IBs. So he's really close to me, right? And he doesn't want to create the... He doesn't want to let me challenge off IBs, right? So you would want a frame trap to punish that. So I hard read Digitalis, but I should have just waited. Because he gets rewarded so highly for that. Luckily, he doesn't have the pin, right? I think that's just me being a gorilla. I actually don't know if this would have worked if he did what I thought he was gonna do. Where I figured he wanted the pin, so I was like, okay, maybe he'll just like raw roll through. But I guess it makes sense that he probably wanted to do a button and then roll through me so that he could pick up the pin, right? So I woke up with throw us because I figured he would want the pin somehow. But maybe if he did raw roll, which he realistically he wouldn't do that in that situation. It just doesn't really make that much sense. But if he had done it, maybe he would have crossed up my throw us input. Okay, it doesn't have pin, so I'm in a good spot. Use it on throw, like you gotta deal with it, homie. Oh, this is the thing I was talking about. Earlier. It's the same thing, but without tatami. If I had put the tatami, it's the same thing. It's just better because he would get a blue burst, not a gold burst, and I'd get a punish. But if you use Zansen like really late, try to like meaty with it real late, and you input the RC, it kind of just like auto does this for you, where if they burst, you'll just get to block it. I didn't expect them to keep holding up back though. He got me there, and then I just reset. I was like, okay, he still doesn't have pin, so I was trying really hard like not to interact with him. I shouldn't have given him that pin. I should not have given him that pin. So he techs there. As soon as he teched, I think I should have just ran at him, because he's not that scary in that situation. He doesn't have meter and he doesn't have the pin, so even if he jumped back, his options off of jumping back wouldn't be that strong. But because I do that Azami, he gets to get his pin back, which is pretty bad. Like, I just should have not let that happen. I think in general, I don't really like control space here well enough. Like, I know he's gonna get that pin, so maybe I can just do claw in place, and it would catch him rolling. Because pretty much every time Skyy throws his pin, he just rolls into it like that. So instead of jumping, maybe I should have preemptively committed to claw like as I landed right here, and maybe it would have caught him. At least it would have forced him to block for a second, if anything. And then this Millia stuff, I am presuming that I get robbed. It's Millia. Oh, he messes up. Oh, I mess up. Why did I pick jump K? I should have picked jump S out of that tech. Oh, what? Oh, I'm so mad. I didn't throw that. I'm terrible. I'm actually terrible. He low crushed me. Oh, that sucks. I don't know what he's doing. I think he thought if I ran out of the corner, if I ran forward and he did that, he would end up perfectly in throw range. But I don't move forward, and then I YRC to have time to see what's happening. And I press 2K and he low crushes me with 6K. Oh, you hate to see it. And then I tech, but I don't press a button. Ugh, you hate to see it. Yeah, see? Same situation as before. I think in that situation, I should try to 6P more. I don't know if his jump H will beat it, though. But I know that the Tatami protects me in that situation. So it might be worth just seeing it happen and staying on the ground more often to try to 6P that jump K he's doing. That might be important to try to remember. Happened there. I think he just low crushed me, right? Is that what happened? Nah, he ran up before it was out. Just caught me pressing the button. Well, I'm surprised. I'm actually really surprised that he did that. Normally when he does that, like I said, he almost always does S disc YRC. So I'm really surprised that he respected me. Oh, that sucks. I had a feeling that he wouldn't sit there, right? Because the Oki doesn't... I should have done delayed air dash. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, I guess it's because he had meter. So if he did blitz shield, that's why. Yeah, that's why. So from this situation, I should have done Tatami. Tatami actually wouldn't have been blitzable, I think, maybe from that far. I can't tell. Actually, it might have been. I think I was still too close. But the idea is as he's waking up, if I had done delayed air dash, which is the only thing that can hit him when he's waking up, like as he's waking up, if he does stand blitz, he gets me. Like he'll get me with the stand blitz, and I have no meter to play the blitz war against him, even if I wanted to. Right? But he doesn't, right? I expected him to take the bait and just stand blitz, so I just do instant run up 2K like that. I even keep running as I see him backdash to try to catch him. Oh, he could have thrown me off of that. That's a pretty tough spot to get caught in. He does run up. He didn't even get the disc. He would have meatied me. Like, he would have locked me down if he had the disc. But he doesn't get the disc, but because of the slowdown, I think he can legitimately just whiff 2K and throw me. Like, super jump throw me. I think he can do it before I can do anything because of the slowdown. I might be wrong, but that's what it feels like. Or if anything, like, even if he can't, if he does that and I double jump off of the situation, I'm in a terrible spot. He can just wait for me to sink like a rock, you know, from up there. Now that I have no air resources. Yeah. Thank you here. Yeah, that makes sense. I pressed the button thinking he'd stay on the ground for a little longer, and then it whiffed. And as soon as I see it whiff, I was like, alright, Azami, just in case he does pin like that. If he had done nothing, sometimes he does nothing off this, like he just throws the pin and falls. If he had thrown the pin and done nothing, I think I would have missed. Yeah, I think I just missed. That's crazy. It's because he air dashed that he got caught. He did the air dash jump K again. But if he hadn't, I think the Kuchinashi just whiffs and he should get a punish. He can get a sweep. It's not crazy, but I mean, you'll get a sweep in a Okizeme, so better than nothing. And as I talked about this before, where Skyy and a lot of other people like just backdash the claw once it's relatively far from them, and he specifically presses a button every time. Oh, I missed the combo. I don't get a knockdown off of this. I get a reset. Yeah. I definitely thought he'd burst. You got me. I thought he'd burst because it just seems like such a fucked up situation, right? He just ate like a combo in half, techs out, reads the situation incorrectly. It's like, oh, that's tough. Oh, dude, I hate that. I hate that so much. So I did run up 2k, and I don't do it fast enough to counter hit him out of it because of how fast. Like, these normals are exactly the same speed. The first hit of 5H or 4H is or not 4. We know, get what I mean. The first hit of her 5H is I think 5 frames to come out. Like, so dumb. And if you trade with the light normal like this, like a punch or a kick, I think this is level 1. Like I think her jab and kick is like attack level 1. I don't know, but in general, if you trade with it with like a light normal like that, they get a sweep off the counter hit trade, which is so annoying. And there's like further reason for them to mash 4H, obviously. Cross up. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, I was just at this point, I was just blatantly robbing him because like if he doesn't burst there, he's dead, right? Like he's just gonna die off that confirm. So I do the early burst bait, and he doesn't do it, so I just throw him. And I'm just like, all right, well, you're steady anyway, right? But specifically, just not punishing that. You have to throw that. You just have to throw that. I think she can even do it with 4H. I don't know if she even has to throw it West. She might get counter hit by the soccer if she messes up though. So it's probably still worth trying to throw OS. Oh, I got so lucky. I feel like he could tech off of that. I think he just didn't. Yeah, he does. Okay. He does tech. Oh, that's tough. That's pretty awkward for Millia, because you have to recognize the situation really fast and go into close slash. If you don't have a knockdown, right? You're gonna push me too far to not get close slash. Also, bad on me. I did a better job of this when we played recently. Where sometimes he'll reset like this and he'll press jump K because the air to air, if he doesn't mess it up, like he's supposed to do heavy pin there and heavy pin knocks me down, but he messes up. See, this is the thing I was talking about. Like, I'm just gonna do it anytime I think you're gonna burst if I can throw you. Hey, what's up, Conan? Like, I have no reason not to, right? Like, I'm just gonna throw you every time it seems like you're gonna burst if you're not gonna punish Susan on throw. I don't know what happened there. I think he missed his blitz, maybe. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't want to RC because I wasn't sure if it would combo. Dude, how did that mess up? Also, I didn't expect them to blitz. I know that you can, right? If I expect a person to blitz, I'll just do run up sweep. But I kind of didn't expect them to gamble on the blitz because he'll just die if he's wrong, right? And even though he blitzes, if I do run up jab into 2k, it'll beat the charge blitz. Like, he'll get counter hit out of the charge from the low. But I don't usually do 5p into 2k against Skyy that much because he's usually every now and then trying to mash 4h on the tatami IB. So if I press the jab, he doesn't get punished for it, right? Because he'll stop mashing it by the time the block string starts. But if I start with the 2k, then I'll catch him mashing that 4h, right? Which is why you'll see me do like 2k close slash starter. It just so happens that 2k close slash will lose to charge blitz in that situation. But he holds it even though he shouldn't. And then I don't know why this dropped. He gets hit by Sakura, and I try to do Tetsuzansen off of the air claw, and for whatever reason she's like rolling, but she doesn't get hit. I think I have to like burst to not die here, or like to not lose the round potentially. Oh, I got lucky. I got pretty lucky. I probably inputted my 4H too early. I imagine trying the 4H here, but it didn't come out. And I walk, because I'm holding back for the 4H, I walk out of his throw range, and he only gets 5H. Yeah, see, there's the thing. Armor Dash is just really good at like avoiding those situations where she can harass you by either throwing a pin early or like getting on top of you and doing jump H somehow. Mash Azami? Yeah. This is surprisingly strong because it's pretty hard to deal with, right? Like if for whatever reason you don't backdash there, right? Like you see him do Herikar and then backdash out of where he just was. I use Zansen right where he just was, right? Like around where he just was. And then he gets low crushed. Like it whiffs when he does the sweep because Yozansen's airborne. And then Yozansen recovers so fast on whiff that you can definitely just mash this. And it's not punishable. Especially if they whiff something or they were doing a different thing before that happened. I wouldn't say it's cheap. I would say it's just very obnoxious. It's just really obnoxious that she can do that off of the whiff Yozansen. 6k, yeah. I probably miss delayed air dash jump heavy if I'm doing 6H there. Could I have done better there? I think doing 1 to Tommy and then doing dash up FD break here is better. Because another Kita to Tommy is a really huge commitment if he randomly just does anything in neutral. But he backdashes so it works out. Oh, I clip him. Wow, I'm surprised. Somehow his jump H missed. I'm surprised I didn't use Onsen off that spacing. I feel like Yozansen makes a lot of sense there to try to do. Yozansen is pretty cool because it covers a lot of options if you do it running here, if you do like a running Yozansen. Because if he didn't do that air dash, he'll just kind of like land as I'm like close to him and not just Yozansen, and no one's really expecting a block high there, right? So usually you'll hit them. And even if they back off, like right here, Yozansen's bubble, like Yozansen is huge, bro. Yozansen is like legitimately like all of this. Like it just controls this enormous space around her when she does it. And it comes out in 9 frames. So it, well, actually, I don't know if the higher hitbox. I don't know the frame data on like the higher parts. So like I don't know about like up here, like towards the higher parts. I don't know like when that part comes out. Like that might not be 9 frames, but it's still like really fast when you do it. And it definitely covers like that whole airspace. Like it's 9 frames when it hits here, so it's probably only a few frames before it hits like right around here to anti-air. Like I think it's really strong, and especially because if you space it, it's not punishable on air block. It just isn't. If you space it, you'll always get to block before they can punish you. If you're really close when you do it on accident, they can land and like press a light normal, and they might hit you. Like I'm pretty sure it'll be a punish. What happened? JD. I just matched backdash because I know you don't get a combo off that backdash 5H. He wire sees I wire see, nothing happens. Yeah, I should have jumped back. I think from this situation, I mean, I guess it's kind of tough, right? Because if he does this from right here, if he thinks I'm gonna jump back, he can do a few things depending on what he thinks I'm gonna do. If he thinks I'm gonna jump back, he can do the thing he normally does, where he'll IAD jump K and it covers right here. And if he lands, he's gonna land either here or here, right? Both times he'll just mash 4H, right? If you're crouch, you're like maybe not gonna react to the jump K whiffing on the crouch. And if he hits you, he could potentially knock you down if he doesn't mess up the confirm. And then alternatively, because of the slowdown, like he could just run up and press a button, but obviously that would lose to me holding up back, which is why he would be tempted to do instant air dash jump K there. And like I said, if the jump K whiffs on crouch, he's just gonna mash 4H. So that's probably why I did nothing. I probably just assumed that he would do the IAD and he didn't do it. And then what happens here? No, that's fine. I saw him whiff and I thought maybe he'd move forward or move back. I didn't expect to get punished by a pin like that. Well, the one time, I almost never do that mix-up, like ever. Yeah. I think he was just trying to... I'm assuming I did a deep to Tommy. Yeah, I do a deep one on purpose. So that if he's holding up or trying to mash backdash, it's not going to work. If he had done blitz, he doesn't have the meter for it though, right? But if he had done blitz, it would beat this. He might be able to throw it too. It's sometimes I don't make this tatami meaty because it takes longer to set up. But the throw is a lot more dangerous. The blitz for sure. The blitz definitely causes pushback there at that range. And set 2. Yeah, see, like I think I should just let go of that. I think I should never do this against Millia. I don't even know what I did. Maybe I tried to do. Oh, I did jump H. That might have been jump Yozansen. Or sorry, jump Azami, and I messed it up. I doubt I would want to do that against a character as fast as Millia at round start. I got lucky though, he doesn't confirm and we're knocked down. I think that should see, like I think that's also techable. I don't think that was a hard knockdown. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's techable. Mash Azami on a reset, you know the vibe. And then there's a situation from earlier that I talked about where off of this jump, if I start descending like this, even if I tatami at this distance, you can probably backdash it as like pretty much any character that has a normal backdash, right? So I know, and this is a lot easier because he didn't have the meter to blitz me. So I can just do the air dash because the air dash will catch him backdashing like that. If he had the meter to do a blitz, then it's pretty tough because I have to decide whether I do that or whether I just do a low. But the low is not going to catch backdash, right? And he backdashed near the corner, so I get a baby dust loop. Happens. Oh, I missed my clash. Cancel, right? Yeah, I wanted an FD and I don't get it. Throw the roll, can't do that. I'll miss my TK Azansen. He was stand blocking though, so it's not like it would have mattered. Let me see. He was stand blocking, so unless he was already like transitioning from stand block to crouch block, because maybe he thought the overhead was already coming, he would have blocked it. So like whatever. That I messed it up. And then I didn't know what to do off that confirm. That confirm is really awkward. I guess the really good confirm to do would be if you do running Kuchinashi, you should get a dust loop off of that if you recognize the situation fast enough. Because it's a lightweight, so you have more time to recognize the situation and then just do running Kuchinashi. But I knew that if I just did jump S, jump D like this, he's gonna wall bounce. So I kind of just like tried getting as many hits as I could and I messed it up. That's crazy. I do this because I'm usually scared of her rolling, right? If they press a button and they roll, it rolls through the stab follow-up. So I don't do the stab follow-up a lot of the times. I just do that. But because of how fast the first hit of 5 H's, it actually catches the startup of running slash out of Azami. It did a bunch of... Wait, is that him trying to pick up pin? Is that why he did that? Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is what He did it really early that time, though. I hadn't even woken up. So if I had woken up with Throw OS again, like expecting him to press a button again and then do the roll, he would have crossed up my Throw OS input. But holding Azami works. Same thing as before. Like, there's so many instances in this set where I just knew, I was like, okay, this is kind of just like a free bait. Because I do, first of all, I do a low, right? In case you do a blitz, right? If you do a blitz, then it's like, okay, you're just gonna get hit for it. And then I do armor dash, because if you do dead angle, it's gonna catch dead angle. You're almost dead, so it's more than likely you would want to dead angle. And if for whatever reason, even though you're not going to, if you did burst, it catches it, right? So it's like, it just catches a lot of defensive options in that situation, and you're not punishing me for it. So as soon as I get the throw, you're just dead anyway. You just simply can't let that happen. You have to throw her out of it on reaction. 28 frames is reactable online. My connection with Skyy wasn't even that bad. Oh, he catches me. He does a lot of hard bait on my burst off overhead too. Granted, I do burst there sometimes, even though it's a really bad burst point. Happened. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. There was no need to do that running slash. I could have just ended on Suzuran. I needed to jump earlier. I needed to jump way earlier. Because off of this block string, if she picks up the pin, she can throw the pin right now. And if you try to jump like as late as right now, the pin can hit you, like if you don't do it right. So it was bad that I didn't jump on time. And then he just does like empty land throw and I get lucky. that my delay jump works out. Same thing, like Susanon. Anytime, literally anytime I suspected the chance of him bursting in this set, I just always did Susanon throw. Because 3 hits in, you have the corner, right? And it's pretty early still in the round, so you can just burst here if you feel like it. To try to like maintain positioning. So I was like, okay, maybe he'll burst. Doesn't burst, gets thrown. He's not punishing it. I couldn't believe that. That was also bad. I wonder if I missed my 6k input. Normally I do jab 6k and then I do claw, but I did jab claw and he mashes 4h through it. Good tick throw. I was ready for that one. I'm bad at like being patient here. I should be more patient here. If Millia's set up this disc, they know that you can backdash. So before you wake up, a lot of the times they'll just do that to catch you backdashing, right? So I think I should just respect it more, especially because from that distance, Bad Moon doesn't connect anymore, I think I'm too far for Bad Moon to hit on wake up. And if it does, it hits mad late. It has to hit like super late. So it's probably okay to block here more than I like anticipate. And if he crosses me up, he'll be really far if I don't move. So his block string should be kind of bad. I think just auto spamming backdash stairs is just dumb. I shouldn't get baited like that. Oh, he didn't need to do that. He could have supered. What happened there? This is pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. That entire interaction is pretty okay. I think I shouldn't have approached him there. I think I should have just... The thing about Millia is I've come to realize it's bad to approach her. I really shouldn't unless I am very confident about approaching her. Like in the corner or something. But otherwise, I don't know. Like it can just end up turning into that, right? Where I'm wrong and they get a punish off of it and now it's their turn. If I don't have burst, I'm in a really terrible spot. Bam. Also, I'm assuming I missed my backdash. I know that off of where is it? Off of Digitalis Ender, they do air dash, delay air dash, and the second one is a safe jump. I think it's a safe jump, but I think you can backdash and hold up maybe out of the situation. Yeah, see, he like that's such a hard bait. Like you could probably just combo me from there, I think, and it's fine. IMO, I don't know. Hard bait. I get hit by 5D. I know you have to run in for the animation, so. And that's the thing I talked about. He usually does, this time I didn't want to do Tatami because I wanted to get out of the corner like that. So I do running slash after the Susanon to punish the pin throw. Even though it's not a punish, he was just holding forward. Yeah. That time I do nothing. I know that he's gonna cross me up out of the corner because if I somehow block the mix up or if he gets counter hit by a Nizami follow up or something, he's in the corner, right? So it'd be a really bad punish for him to eat. So it makes sense that he would cross me up. Sometimes I like to try to throw Millia if I think they're trying to jump out of the Oki like that. Like I try to just jump and press jump H, especially because if they do nothing and I come down with jump H and they block it, I'm in a good spot. But this time I just choose to respect. I just figured I was like I just have to wait. He does his throw a little early, I think. I guess right. Because he could do from there, he can do run up throw, right? Or just run up button. He does run up button. Yazansen. Yeah, Yazansen's the only follow up you'll get at that height. Good on him to tuck out like that. Air dash out of the corner. I should have done nothing. That's tough. I just didn't think that he would try to anti-air me. I could have done air dash back to Tommy and it would have worked here. But I thought he would just keep running, anticipating me to do air dash back to Tommy. So I did an early jump S and I get 6 speed out of it. I think I tried attack, yeah, and I get caught. I think by this point I stop approaching him. Yeah. He also would do this a lot, and the thing is, like, I don't think she can ever go fast enough once I'm that far. She needs to be closer, right? Because, like, look at how far he is. at the start of this. He needs to be closer to run up and press a button to get past Tatami, because there's a chance that you can run past it, right? Like, where is it? If you can run up to here, if you can get to here, there's a gap, right? And the Tatami won't hit you. You'll see the gap like as it's coming out. Watch, see, like you see that like gap in front of the Tatami. That's actually there. That's an actual gap. And you can try to run into that space, but it usually requires you to do it really early, in a way that often gets punished by jump pass. Right? I got kind of lucky. I think he could have thrown that. Because I do a deep one again, just in case he backdashes or tries to get out of it. Oh, I don't like this at all. I'm too stationary. I've learned against Millia that the worst thing for me usually is to be stationary. As soon as you mess up, I think as Biken it's worth just like ID back to Tommy like all the time. Just in case she tries to overcommit with like a pin or something. You don't get punished. Oh, I get lucky. He's out of range for the throw. And then I did my burst safe route a little too early, so he bursts the first jab as it's coming out. And punishes me for it. Oh, that was terrible. I shouldn't do this ever. At least not against Skyy, because Skyy always approaches after the burst like this. The fact that I even got to block is really lucky that I didn't get punished for that. I should have just done what I always do. I should have just done armor dash out of the corner, or like jump and then Tatami and land behind it. Good on him to space around it. I didn't think he'd do that. I thought he would just block, because if he blocked that far, he wouldn't really get a punish. 5D. I remember that. I had a feeling he'd hold the 6H, but I messed up the combo. That's a bad Azami, I think. Let me see. I don't know. It could go either way. Because if Skyy hits you with one of those, like a quick air hit, that's not going to combo, but you return to neutral, it's very likely that he will also just do S-Disc YRC every now and then. Like, he'll do 2-3-6-6 S-Disc, and then he'll YRC it. Because it's so fast, like the way it comes out, that if you don't instantly press a button here, you just get smoked, right? And obviously, if you instantly press a button, if he, like, bar slashes, and you press the crouching normal, he'll get a knockdown off of the counter hit. But the Azami there is kind of weird. I don't know if I like that. I don't think he presses buttons there that often on the reset. Yeah, see, like, that's good to do against Millia. That's good to do. Like, anytime you kind of, like, guess wrong, it's just, like, there, he's kind of above me. I'm kind of, like, in a weird spot. He can come down on top of me. IAD back to Tommy, like that. See if you can catch them messing up at all, like that. I should also never do that to Skyy. He always, like, chicken blocks or 4Hs, the Kira Tatame. It's never really, like, worth it. He doesn't sit and block long enough for that kind of thing to be worth it. Oh, he might have been able to 6P that. Wow, that still worked. Crazy. He looked like he was so far. Oh, what did I do? I was scared there, yeah. I didn't hit confirm at all. If I ever do counter hit and still RC, it's because I'm scared and I like don't hit confirm the situation. Because obviously I don't need RC for the combo there. Double claw. Yeah, that's what I talked about earlier. Or a lot of times at that spacing, people will backdash instead of just being patient. Then he techs out. If he had tech forward, he would have punished me for that, but he doesn't. Which is normal. And kind of the thing I was talking about earlier, where Yazansen is just like really fast and hits like a huge space around her, right? So if for whatever reason he did like 2k far S, I don't think his far S reaches me, maybe? Actually, yeah, it does. I think it does, but that's the idea, right? Like, this comes out in 9 frames. And like I said, on air block at that distance, if I'm not point blank, it's not punishable, right? Like, you would have to guess if I'm Azamiing or not. Which is doable, like, you can guess if I'm Azamiing or not, but it's not truly punishable, so I could just block if I ever feel like it. Yeah, he was going for a lot of these hard baits. I missed my knockdown off the 2H. It's a throw on the cross up. Oh, you can see it. You can see me trying my hardest to like, I think I stand for like a frame. No, I don't. I thought I saw myself stand for a frame, like trying to full rage. Catches me later. It doesn't hit confirm it. I was sad about this. He was so far that even though I reacted to the roll, right, because he does double roll, he's so far, he's out of my throw range. Like, this isn't my throw range anymore. So you'll see, like, the startup of my 5H right here, getting counter hit. Because I tried to throw him, but he's too far. Oh, yeah, this is what I talked about. I've talked about this a lot. Where, on regular block, I just mash backdash. Because even if you press, like, Faras or something, unless you're Johnny, it, like, doesn't convert into anything usually. And a lot of people don't press Faras there all the time. Oh, he wanted S-Disc. Either way, S-Disc would have lost too. It just sucks that he wasted more meter by getting super on accident. Well, I don't know what's happening. That was kind of random. I don't really know if I have a thought on that. Oh yeah, that burst was 100% me forgetting that I had a round. I thought he had a round, so I bursted and I was like, oh no. Okay, try to play as safe as you can. Just like play like slow, go for like simple stuff, and then it ends up working out. First, like right here, I think. Right? I think he could have waited longer, but I mean, I have a ton of risk on him, right? So it's scary. And same thing as before, he just runs in it. He runs into me to Tommying after he bursts me away. Nice. I'm surprised I got that. What did I do? Oh, I was just jumping back into nothing, and I got lucky that I recognized the situation after I IB'd. Throw. Yeah, I know that you can, like, I know that you can tech off of it, so I can always throw it. I just hate the idea of it, because I guess if I guess wrong, the Oki gets, like, really weird. I basically end up whiffing jump forward, jump H as they land on the floor, and I'm in, like, the timing is just awful. Like, I don't really get any Oki if I don't get this air throw, and they just take the hard knockdown. That a lot of the times I won't opt for it, but it is a thing. Mashing 4H. That was kind of messed up, right? Because I knew that he would mash 4H. Because first of all, this is the descending jump H, because I do it on Oki. And when you do it on Oki like this, you do jump H as she's descending, right? So like, and you do, it's like old Guilty Gear, right? Like she does this on XX all the time too. You do jump H descending like this on the way down to catch them, like meaty with it. But because you're doing it on the way down, even if you IB it, you cannot throw it. Because I didn't do it high enough, right? So once I saw the IB, I was like, oh, tight. I'm gonna do 6K. Like, I just know if you mash 4H, you're gonna get counter hit for this. I'm still 2+. I don't tech into the frame trap, or no, the tech trap. Oh, that was bad decision making. So I get this hit, and what I should have done here is I should have just IAD'd out of the corner into Tatami. When you do the running slash that close to them, so like look how close I am, right? When I do this, I do it off this 5H, but I'm so close to her. It's like the inside of 5H. When you do a really close one like that, you can actually do jump and then Tatami out. So like as soon as it lands, you would do jump, air dash, and then land with Tatami mat, and Tatami mat will land like right there on them. And if you do it right, it should be safe against blitz. And I think they can't backdash it if you do it right. But even if they do, they're in the corner, so it's not like a super big deal even if they do backdash it. Yeah. But yeah, doing what I did was worse because you see me encounter the situation from earlier, which is as I'm coming down, I have to decide whether I'm gonna do a low, which would probably be backdashable if I pick sweep. Like if I'm not picking 2H as my low, I think he can backdash it. Which means it's either I do delayed air dash or I do a low, right? And if I delay air dash, he can blitz it, and if I do the low, he can backdash it. So he guesses right. And then I bet on me to try to blitz him back. It's pretty... You never want to blitz your opponent back from this situation. It's usually pretty scuffed because it's pretty hard to time the blitz to not get punished. if you specifically are getting charge blitzed from them blitzing you at like a low altitude. Like that. This is a combo. I couldn't believe that worked. I guess it's because he just wanted his spin. Oh baby, you love to see it. Love to see it. This is so cheap. He triggers the pin, but I don't recognize the situation. I just mashed the punch follow up, but he crosses me up. And oh, he was pressing 5k, that sucks. I throw him out of his button because P follow up Tsubaki has like no end lag. It's like legitimately basically no end lag. Oh, cheap stuff. Oh, I went for the whole combo. I'm surprised. Yeah, this is a really weird combo to fix. So I think I did my sweep too early. I think I could wait longer before I do that sweep off of this, because when I do this part of the combo, I noticed that he's too high for me to do the dust loop already, because the way it works is if it's a lightweight, they need to be, so like you see how the center of her body is like right here, that I know that she's too high. If I do jump D, she's gonna rebound and be too high for jump S, jump D to connect. Jump S might connect, but jump D probably won't. Or I'll just cross her up, potentially. Normally you want the center of their body to be like around here when they're lightweights. And it'll make it so, maybe a little higher actually. Not there, it's like right there instead. Yeah, you want her to be like aligned with like her waist. But yeah, you see like where Millia's like center is, it's a little too high. So if you go forward, if I did air dash jump S, it would be around here, right? Because I'm actionable. The jump S, she's gonna be around like this height, we'll say, when jump S comes in and hits her, and it's gonna hit too high. Jump D isn't gonna connect. So it's just like a rare instance of like, oh, I messed up the combo early because I gave her too much height. So now I know the only thing I can do is Yozansen Ender. I don't have to air dash for it though, because I know I'm close enough. But yeah, and that's a hard Yozansen to block. It's so far away, right? That even if you do block it, I can just mash Tatami. Again, running into Tatami. He ran into Tatami like a lot. It's just can't do that, right? Also, this is one of those things where I don't mind this at all. If I push my opponent into this spacing, I usually assume that they're gonna jump. If you jump forward, you're gonna get smoked by the claw. If you jump neutral, you might get smoked by it. It kind of depends, but I'm pretty sure you do. It goes really far. And then if you jump back, I think you should be fine. But as long as you don't like challenge the claw in some way, you can see how it doesn't really matter for me. Like I'm resetting to neutral with the Tatami fast enough that it doesn't matter. That's crazy. Look at that. She actually just goes low enough with her normal run that the uppercut misses. Early burst because I know that I can just kind of like try to play it slow. Me camping pin. Baiting throw it. Sorry, baiting burst again, because every time I baited burst, I just gotta throw it, or I gotta throw anyway. Good on him to recognize. Where is it? Good on him to recognize this IB that he got in this really weird situation. Where is it? Is it here? Wait, was it before? I like feel like I missed it. It was before, huh? I think it's like around here. Yeah, good on him to realize that I beat this really high, so he can just like mash H as he lands. He can literally mash H as he lands, because you can see it happening where he misses jump H as an air throw because I'm already too like low, but it doesn't even matter. He just gets the ground one. And I did not expect him to do this 3 times. If you anticipate this, you can just throw it as she crosses you up before it comes out, because he has to do the normal on the way down. Like you can see he waits to do it as he's descending, right? But I just thought, I was like, okay, maybe he'll finally press the button out of the corner, but he didn't. He gets caught raw. Run up from downtown in 6k. He could have done. He could have just blocked, dude. But run up from downtown in 6K. Oh, that's unlucky. Unlucky in the sense that, like, if he had just run up and not dissed, this probably would have missed. But because he did disc wire C, it returns him to, like, standing for a second. And gets counter hit out of the startup. That kill? Yeah, it does. I feel like I'm such a bad clutcher that I never expect myself to remember, like, how to kill in those situations. So my bad, I forgot to turn this off, didn't I? Wait, what? Oh, my bad. Whoop. Sorry. I was messing with, like, OBS whiteboard on the side. Oh, never mind, I'm good, I'm good. I thought I messed it up. Where was I? I was over here. I'm almost done with analysis. At least this one. I have this tournament and I have one more. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, just barely. Backdash. I'm not a fan of me approaching with these jump S's very much at all. They're not very good at, like, these jump S's don't really do that much to Millia. Because normally the height that she jumps at doesn't really interact with this space at all anyway. Like, if she runs up, she naturally low profiles this jump S running. And if she, so like, if she runs, she just naturally low profiles that low. And if she jumps, she's normally in an airspace like up here at least. Like, she's rarely ever that low to the floor. And she's not a character that really does instant air dash immediately on the floor. Because she doesn't really need to because of how her air resources work, right? Like, you can just wait. You can do jump, double jump, and then air dash to sort of like assess the situation. So that's a pretty bad jump S. I don't think it really gets me anything. It only like leads to me potentially getting punished. Oh, whoops. Can't believe I messed that up. Goes low. Yeah, see, now he finally gets me. I thought he'd give up on hard baits by then, but he gets me finally. Oh, and then, yeah, see, I think by then I was already trying to play it like really safe. Because I'd stop really far away from him and do 2K close slash in case he's trying to do 4H. He could have maybe backdashed that, I think. But he doesn't. Susan on throw, the GOAT. The GOAT of this set. He just never dealt with it. Oh, that's so funny. He had, of all things he could have picked, man. So he IBs the claw. I don't even recognize the situation, right? I press a button. Yeah, I pressed 2K still. But because he insists on mashing 4H, he's too slow. Even at -2, he's too slow because I'm not close enough for the first hit of 5H to hit me. So I think the second hit comes out on like frame 10 or something like that. I don't know. It comes out way later. But he still gets frame trapped by the 2K, even though he shouldn't. Fireball in case he bursts. Also, a lot of the times people will kind of like end up in the situation where I do the fireball early in case he bursts, but then when they block it, they usually instantly hold up back. So I just do IED jump H instantly to try to jail them. What you should do is just crouch. Just continue to crouch. You will legitimately get a free punish if you just wait. Because if you crouch, your character model's like right here. I pass right by you and I stop like right around here. So like you get the best punish ever. Like if you're lazy, you can just throw me, or if your character has a better punish, you can wait for me to cross up and then catch me on the way down. Because I'm committed to that jump S until I touch the floor. But because he jumps, like you'll see, like he's gonna jump into this like range that it hits, right? Like that. But he shouldn't. He should just wait. That wouldn't happen to him. That's what you should do there. Like me doing IED jump S there is a hard read in the sense that if you just waited, I would get punished. Gets caught mashing 4H. Did I not confirm? I think I didn't, right? I knew he'd mash 4H. Yeah, I just didn't confirm it. Missed the throw. Oh, at that point I was like really looking for his burst. I shouldn't have though. I should have just tried taking his burst. Based on how this round was going, I should have just comboed there. Because now he gets to keep his burst and win this round, and it's like, I I could have at least gotten his burst if I wasn't so greedy. Oh, I'm surprised I pressed the button at round start. Yeah. A lot of the times I'm a little more confident if Skyy doesn't have, or just Millia in general, if I block Digitalis and you don't have 25 meter, a lot of the times I'm going to run forward. I just know you're minus and you're going to back off. I can't believe I got that air throw. That air throw was so good. But then I didn't recognize the spacing. I got thrown out of it. Goes low, catches me. There's the instant. Tries to reset me. I remember I was really happy about this like one specific thing where he tries to reset me off of the jab into an air throw, right? Because he would have killed me, maybe? No, he doesn't get a combo. He just kind of reset me, I guess, right? He does the jab, instantly tries to throw the tech. And then the thing is, like, she kind of has the biking effect where, like, you can try to throw that air tech and then you'll land and you'll be actionable anyway. So you just do something when you land. For him, he does backdash S-disc and I instant block it. And specifically because I instant block it, I was like, I'm gonna just FD, see what he does. I feel like it would have been smarter to challenge though, right? Would he have punished me? I think he might have, honestly. That's messed up. I beat Estes so far, it probably didn't matter that it was minus. I think I still would have gotten punished by 5k if I had pressed the button. So funny enough, it worked out that I FD'd. I feel like it would have made more sense to mash on the IB. That time he guesses right and throws me. That was just a funny interaction. Then what is this? Finally, game 5? Yeah. I think by this point I was like really scared. I was also really nervous, man. I hadn't won a rev2sday yet. So I really wanted to win a rev2sday. So you can see I was like all defense. There's a lot of like me just literally throwing jump S out and not like reacting to the situation at all. Just kind of like getting lucky. A really YOLO Azami. Like those last like 15 seconds are a lot of me not really like paying attention to the ways that he's moving in the air and responding correctly. I just kind of like did a lot of preemptive jump S air to airs. Is it usually the same few people at the top end of rev2sday, or is there new people challenging the top lot? I would say it's probably mostly the same people. It kind of depends how many people enter rev2sday. There's a lot of people that could enter rev2sday, but kind of inconsistent. It's usually like Skyy enters pretty much every week. Pat usually enters every week, but he didn't this last one because he was tired from Cali Burst, I think. And then like it really just depends, but it's most, I would say it's the same few people, but there's a lot of them. More recently, Simo did really well. Simo got to grand finals and the rev2sday that just happened last Tuesday. But it's mostly the same, I would say. It's just that it's a bigger pool of players than you'd think that could play in rev2sday. Like you could have Hirsch. I know I'm Not a Sandwich. Ruben entered the last one. CT Warrior, Dandy Cam, the NorCal Jacko can enter. Zwei can enter. Pat can enter. I already said CT. Who else? Bab can enter. Bab's pretty good. I think Bab could do really well. Adapt can do really well. Like it's a good handful. Like to answer your question, it's like yes, but it's a good handful of people. And SoCal enter, or is that too far? No, anyone on the West Coast can enter. You can enter if you want to. Just as long as the connection seems good enough. And like considering we let Skyy in, that's a pretty low bar. You gotta block Skyy's mix-ups and you gotta block his internet when you fight him. Damn, that hit. Wow. Wow, I'm really surprised. I don't even think it was bad on him to backdash. He instant blocked and he was pretty far from Tatami. But it's because he didn't fuzzy jump. If he fuzzy jumped, he would have FD'd this. But he specifically did IAD back out of it and he got clipped. Yeah, see, that I just know sometimes. I got kind of lucky, actually, I think. Normally, I feel like he usually does like a dash into Digitalis, and it's pretty hard to punish. Because if he does the dash roll into Digitalis, then if you press like a button too early, the Digitalis hits you because you're trying to hit her and she's like low profiled. And if you wait too long, you run the risk of counter hit trading with Digitalis. So it's pretty hard to deal with normally, which is like what he normally does there. But the fact that he did double roll is kind of weird, and I got kind of lucky there that the low just hits 6k. I was just testing the waters. If he wanted to backdash there, I think it maybe would have worked. Depends. He was really close anyway, so even if he backdashed the close slash, the far slash was gonna hit him if he didn't act fast enough. But I'm assuming he wanted backdash there and didn't get it. I'm surprised that didn't combo. That running slash should have comboed, but I probably did it too slow. Also, this is a bit of a side note. I've noticed. I'll talk about it more whenever I do finally get to that rev2sday where I played Simo twice and I played Skyy once. Because the differences between them are pretty interesting, at least in terms of like how this matchup works. Skyy is really good at like mixing in turbo fall YRC like this, and then just mashing 4H to kind of like punish you for always waiting for him to extend like to use his air options. Because he lands very quickly suddenly and you never expect it pretty much. I don't know why he did that. Oh no, you know what it was? He messed up disc. I never even thought about that. I was wondering why he did this too for the longest time. I was like, why did he do run up 2H? Because he messed up run up disc. He must have not pressed forward somehow on accident in time, or maybe, I don't know. But he got 2H instead of disc set. And then I get to tech buttons out of it. And then I think no, he's not dead. Yeah, you can tell I was nervous because I do like a weird confirm. Instead of just doing jump P, jump S, jump D, I did like another jump P and I messed up technically. And then yeah, you just like can't interact with that, man. It's so hard. Even off like turbo fall, it's pretty hard. If the if the air dash back to Tommy's already like locked in, it's pretty hard to interact with that. This was probably like the closest I got to playing like really, really good neutral versus him, I think. Like playing defensive initially. I do that jump S in case he didn't commit. I think he double jumps, right? Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, in case he didn't do that double jump, right? To end up at that height. I do the jump S because it would have hit him off of a regular jump. Nothing happens. I do, again, same thing. Like, I do, in case the air dash doesn't push him far enough to get away, I do instant air-to-air jump S. And the thing that I did that was really good is that I do that, and then I time another jump S on the way down. Because if you do rising jump S, you can do a falling jump S. But it's pretty finicky to get that timing. But it creates, like, look at the wall that it creates, you know? Like, it creates such a nice wall to hide behind for her. Like, jump, and then come down with the hitbox too. And then at that point, I backdashed, and I was like, okay, 6P. Like, you're right above me, you're gonna press jump H. You're not gonna throw a pin. I get the 6P. Again, I was so nervous that like you can see me mess up a bunch of stuff. Like I mess up the air dash. I mess up the dash on the tatami. That would have just comboed if I did run up 2k. But I messed up the dash. I think he messes up his combo, right? Like, he missed a close slash, or I don't know what happened. I think he needed a close slash there, but he didn't. I get very lucky that he was out of range for that. I mess up my combo. Oh, you can see the height here. This is what happened last time, I think. But you can actually see the difference in height for when I know that it's gonna combo, right? So compare before to now, right? Like before, the center of Millia's body was like up here, and now it's like down here, right? So that difference in height is like what helps you determine whether or not you can keep doing the dust loop on a lightweight. On a midweight, it's different. And normally you want them to be like higher up already, usually, so the route's a little different. But against a midweight, you need them to be like that low, so that when you air dash forward, she's not too high and you don't cross her up or anything like that. She descends fast enough that you stay in front like that. I missed my knockdown. Oh, I got so lucky that worked. He could have maybe blocked. Back dash. What happened there? I think I should have just taken the knockdown. If I did dash 6H, I can delay the 6H a little enough that that she'll be unable to tech, and then I would get Okizeme off of it, and I'd be in a much better situation to finish off the round. But I tried to do like a weird... Oh no, I did do that. Okay, never mind. I did do that. I thought I tried to do the combo. And same thing, just ran into... Like, you just can't run into that tatami. I don't think Millia has anything super strong in this situation. I think if it's specifically in like this, I think he can double jump, toss heavy pin, and if I tatami, he'll go above it. Like, he'll go like way above it and he'll just smoke me, I think. Not positive though. But in general, like, tatamiing after people burst you is just really strong. And then I just figured, I was like, okay, he's gonna do something off this IB on 2H. So I catch him with running slash and then insta tech, we just throw it, right? Yeah. That was it. That was my set. I don't think Skyy did anything like as far as like what I think Skyy could have done better. I think it was just, you just can't let Suzudon throw happen, right? I guess I can look at that really quick. Try to. Let me see. Like, you just can't let Baiken do Suzudon throw on you for free. Not all the time. Like, it's fine if you mess up every now and then, right? Like, I don't perfectly throw Millia double roll all the time. Sometimes I mess up. But it's okay if you mess up against Baiken's Suzudon throw. But, like, no one even tries. Ever, really. Also, I'll change the capture in a second. Game, sir? In what, sir? Exert? Ooh. Would you be down to wait for me to eat? Yeah, because I haven't, like, eaten since really early. I'm gonna show this one last thing real quick. Because it's, like, the only thing I think that I have, like, a... like actual commentary on for what Skyy could have done better, or what anyone can do better against Baiken in general. And then I'm gonna end my stream and eat real quick. Because I only wanted to finish that one today. Okay, so I messed that up. It'll be easier if I set her to block everything. Oh, what? I never play Baiken on stick. I'm not used to it. I'll use a good example. I'll use one that's like the perfect spacing. Oh, dude, I never do it on this correctly. There we go. So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if she does the spacing really well, then it becomes hard to throw her out of it, right? Specifically, like, that's too far. It's too far. I need to, like, run all the way up. There we go. TK Azansen's easier on stick. It's all personal preference. Like, I can't really do it that well. Not TK Azansen, at least. I can kind of do it. Besides the point. What was I showing? Oh yeah, so... Oh wait, I'm so dumb. I recorded the wrong thing. Right, so like... That's kind of like the reason why you don't try to react too early, right? That's like what's supposed to be her sort of like mix-up game in a sense, is like if you react early enough like that and you do it specifically with 4H, which is what most people would do, right? Because you were already blocking. So most people will just do this. They're just like, oh, well, I want to throw her out of it, right? Because if I do the other recording, right, then like you can throw her out of it, right? Notice how like I throw her before she can even do it. Like before she can do it. Or I tech, right? Like, which is also okay, that's fine. But it's like normally you'll see that, right? Like that's what should happen, and then you'll get your turn or whatever. The problem is if I do the stab, right? If you learn to react, but you're only reacting with 4H, then the stab starts to cause problems for you. Because I'll get a counter hit and it's a fat starter, right? which is why it's important to do this if you can. It depends on character. Maybe Millia can't do it. Like, I guess maybe she can't. Oh. Dang, that's crazy. So she can't do it, it looks like. 'Cause normally I would say the thing that you should do is that. Is you react with very, like, delayed throw us forward like that, right? So I guess her 6P doesn't look like it has enough upper body invul to do it. Which I guess means that she would have to wait a really long time. She'd have to wait a really long time like this. Right, so if I set, like, randomized recording. Like I said, I'm not perfect either. I mess this up like all the time too. So like I'm reacting too early. Did it a little too early. Oh my god, how does that even happen? Like, you can pretty consistently do that with Millia. Like, you can react with 4H pretty well. And if you've seen, like, it hasn't popped up yet, but, like, as long as you wait long enough, you'll just get throw text. Usually, that's, like, the downside. So, like, for example, and the good thing is I believe that this doesn't work against Millia's 4H. I don't think that works against 4H. Yeah, so it doesn't. Because 4H is too fast and hits too high. That even if they react really late, it hits. Right? Like, even if you're like you have to be super late on your reaction. As long as you're like relatively fast, you'll get it. But it looks like she still has to deal with it a little more than other characters. But you still want to try to throw it. Like, it's just one of those things, especially if I have never even represented the frame trap off of it, right? Especially because the frame trap's minus, and I'll lose my turn if I go for it, and you just keep blocking. Which is why I say, like, you just need to, like, you need to throw her. It needs to become RPS. I can't just get away with use it on throw all the time. It's just not, like, okay for that to happen. I think Soul's a better example. I think Soul can 6P throw us, like, everything. Maybe. Can he not? You'd have to do it really early, which would probably deny you the throw. But it's better than nothing. If anything, if you're gonna tech anyway, I guess it just makes sense in my head to use throw OS. Because, like, you were gonna get counter hit anyway if you messed up, right? So it's like, you might as well. But you can see, like, I'm specifically trying to wait as long as I can. Oh, just random. That, like, if they do the stab. The reason, by the way, they all look the same is because I'm throwing her before she can jump. Because that recording was the jump H one. I'm just waiting to see when I get the stab. Right? It's like, this is very reactable. The hardest part is like, waiting long enough that you don't get frame traps is, like, really scary. And is often the reason why you won't throw her, you'll get a throw tech instead. Like that. Oh, whoops. Like, you can do it, like, really late. See, like, that's a perfect example of, like, you can see I was doing it really late, but it gives you throw techs like that, right? Which is why, like, I think the most consistent way to defend against it, I guess this would be true for, like, basically every character, is you wait as long as you can, like, really long, and then you input throw OS. Like, I can still wait longer than that and do it. Yeah, that's crazy. You can still wait longer than that. Yeah. Throw OS specifically because that, right? You don't want her to get that jump H bait if you press 4H. That's why you have to wait. It's tough, man. But I don't know. Like, people just, like, getting thrown all the time like this is just also just, like, not okay. Like, it's not perfect to deal with. obviously. But the idea is like, if I feel no threat going for Suzudon ever, then you're not like doing your job. It still needs to feel like RPS. You still need to throw me so that I know I have to go for S. Because you'll never catch me doing it until someone throws me, and it's like, okay, then now I actually have to do the frame trap a bit. It's important to like recognize that. But yeah, that was that tournament run.